Welcome back to another edition of Hollywood's Best Kept Secrets. We definitely have another great celebrity interview for you today, an industry legend. He's built all the cool cars for some of your favorite Hollywood films, such as Grease, starring John Travolta. He's even done a lot of the stunt cars used for the original Dukes of Hazzard. Over 200 of the vehicles used in Fast and the Furious. And one of my very favorite films starring Sylvester Stallone, Cobra, that cool Cobra car, he actually designed and built it. And with us today in the studio, we have the 1967 GOAT used in the Vin Diesel movie Triple X. I'm talking about none other than Hollywood legend, Eddie Pual. Thank you, Eddie, for being on the show.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for inviting me.
Oh yeah, no, this is great. We appreciate this. In this show, we really like to start off with kind of hearing a little bit about where you're from and what were some of the first little pieces of metal you were able to tinker around with as a kid. I got to imagine your erector set was something so much bigger and better than ours.
Yeah, probably was. Started like most kids. I guess I was born in San Francisco, and my dad was an inventor, so we traveled around. Every 6 months, we'd be in another town or state. And I finally got tired of traveling at about 15 years old and stayed in Los Angeles. But yeah, I used to do the stuff, you know, customizing bicycles and taking erector sets, like you said. I fooled with explosives, fooled with everything. Anything that was mechanical or electronics I was playing with.
Oh, that's so cool. What was your first break into the Hollywood industry?
A film company came up, knocked on my door one day. I rented a building to finish one of my cars because my neighbors were complaining about the noise. And I got a knock on the door, answered it. The guy came in and introduced himself as a producer for a show called Grease. Back then, nobody knew what Grease was. And I didn't really believe him. And he set a briefcase on my desk, opened it up, it was full of $100 bills.
Wow.
So he had to be a producer. Nobody has that kind of money. So I took him serious, and he told me they needed 48 cars in 2 weeks for a movie called Grease. Could I do it? Yeah. And I said, yeah, of course. So I had to go out and hire the crew and get the cars and put it all together. We finished 5 minutes before the truck got there.
Say they need the next James Bond car for the 2000th century for Vin Diesel in Triple X. I mean, how do you come up with such a beautiful creation? Do they give you sketches, or how does that happen?
Sometimes they give you detailed drawings, sometimes it's sketches, sometimes they have no clue in the world what they want. I like the one where they have no clue. It gives me more latitude. This one, they gave us some sketches, but I modified them. And you know, when you do it enough, you figure they're coming to you because you're the expert, so you pretty much design it. But you also have to check with them. You want to be sure they're happy with it, because what's funny, a real quick short story, when we did the cars for the Fast and Furious, we actually built the cars, all 220 of them, before the studios picked the colors.
Wow.
It took them that long to pick colors, but there's a lot involved in picking colors. You got to get colors that don't conflict and things, I guess.
You know, we talked a little bit about, too, what it takes for some of those films. They get the opportunity maybe for you sometimes to drive in some of these films.
Way back, I started on Dukes of Hazzard. I met one of the stunt guys on a film that I built some hang gliders for, and he said, if you ever get to Hollywood, I go, I live in El Segundo. Yeah. And he goes, well, look me up. We're working on a show called Dukes of Hazzard, and maybe I can get you a little driving job. So I came down and worked with them for a few years. Worked on Gone in 60 Seconds, quite a few things doing stunts. But back then, stunts were different than they are now. You got hurt. Now it's a little bit different. But yeah, I broke almost every bone doing stunts. But I learned.
Yeah. Now, you wouldn't just think I would just tease you with that segment without actually taking you in to see Eddie Pual, the master, at work. You at home will be able to watch this segment and get tips for even one of your up-and-coming movies. Well, now we're here back with Eddie, and he's going to show us how he builds these custom guns that fit on cars and even just props for the movie industry. So this is the first stage, huh, Eddie?
Yeah, what I do is I do my research, go on the internet or wherever, bookstores, and I find everything I can on the subject, like in this case, a 30 caliber machine gun. So I'll do all the research, download everything I can in the way of drawings, and then I take it from the 2D drawings. I build a 3D model, which I do here in Rhino, and then I can actually rotate the gun around, look at it from different views, see if there's anything that I want to change. And then from here, I go out to the plasma cutter, and I'll start cutting it out of metal. So it goes pretty fast from downloading to finishing.
Wow, from page to computer to now we get a chance to go into Eddie's shop and see him cut it with the plasma cutters.
Make sparks.
Make some sparks.
Yeah.
That's what we love about the show. Cool, okay. Let's go on now. All right, well, this is stage 2 with Eddie here at the machine. Now, Eddie, what happens at this point?
Well, I put the file into the computer, which puts it into the plasma cutter, and all I have to do is click this button, and it'll start following the path on the screen and making a side plate out of steel, out of any thickness you want.
Perfect.
Just hitting this.
All right, so we just wrapped up at stage 2. Now we're at stage 3, which is the assembly, right, Eddie?
This is the fun part because it's where it all comes together. These are the side plates we just cut on the plasma cutter.
Oh, yeah.
Just put another piece on, put rivets onto it. Then I take this, we got this piece of tubing that I cut on the CNC lathe, and then that, if all goes well, should snap right onto here, go down, put a muzzle brake on, into the end there, and it starts looking like a machine gun.
Yeah, 30 cal, here it is. So that's kind of the final product there. And from here, I mean, I guess all possibilities are endless, huh?
Oh yeah, I mean, we can actually make a chute if we wanted to, but that goes into another area that we shouldn't go into.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Eddie, so I guess this is third and final process when the machines are all built, huh?
Yeah, and put them together and test them and make sure they're safe to go out on the set and, or wherever they're going.
Oh, that is fantastic. Yeah, and the neat thing to do is also to tell the viewers at home that these are fake and...
Why don't you put that one down?
Yeah.
This is the fake one over here.
Gosh.
That's going to another customer.
Who?
You owe me a couple books, it looks like. At least the one on the lower left, the one on the upper right.
Yeah.
Got to close that group up a little bit more.
So
next time.
sorry about all that,
It's okay,
Eddie.
it's good shooting. But...
Here at Hollywood's Best Kept Secrets, we were with Eddie. Thank you again for everything you showed us today. And I think I'll check my
That was my favorite
pants.
book, too.
Yeah, sorry about that.